Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Curious Cat Kitchen. I'm Kat. For those of you that are new here, welcome. And today I am going to show you how to make um, a dish that I created for my menu last Friday. I named it the Twisted Pita. Um, I love to blend cultures and flavors together to create a dish. I'm always doing it. I love infusing different cuisines to make it a dish. So this was a mix of Korean barbecue oyster mushrooms, your traditional pita, uh, gyro, or like I was thinking gyro, but instead of the meat of the gyro, I would replaced it with the Korean barbecue oyster mushrooms, and it's with homemade tzaziki, lettuce, pickled onions, and naan bread instead of pita. Very similar in flavor, but I also did a garlic butter on the naan bread. I tried to film this video last Friday when I was making it for the menu, but it was a little too hectic to film on Fridays because I'm doing, more than one meal and I have different components and I just don't have um, enough space in my kitchen to film and have all those things going on. So I figured I still have the ingredients, so I will just do a separate day for it. And this way I can also show you the whole process of making the tzaziki. So I have my oyster mushrooms here that are seasoning. I just seasoned it with some gochujang, which is like Korean red pepper powder, smoked paprika, garlic, pepper, onion powder, and just a touch of salt. Um, I did film that when I was doing it to show you, but the mic wasn't turned on. I've been having issues with my mic. For those of you that have been watching me, it goes off, or that I don't know, or I forget to turn it on. So I forgot to turn it on that time, and it was not recording my voice. So I had to do it over, but it's already seasoned. I put, and I made sure it was rubbed. You want to make sure to take the seasoning and rub it into like the crevices in between to get it all up in there. And then when I make the sauce, before I cook it, I'm going to marinate that in there as well, let it sit for a little bit. But so that is going to sit while I show you how to make the tzaziki. I'm going to gather all my ingredients and then I'll be back to show you. So we have cucumber, lemon, and Greek yogurt, vegan Greek yogurt, and a little bit of garlic. Um, I'm supposed to have olive oil, but I'm out. So I didn't put olive oil in the other one, tzaziki, the other day either. And dill. Um, it's better with fresh dill, but I only have dry, so that will have to do. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna grate the cucumber, and should be good. Let's see, because we gotta squeeze out all the liquid. Otherwise, you're gonna have liquidy, runny tzatziki. Nobody wants that. So put this. I'm gonna put it on a paper towel. I'm gonna squeeze the liquid out. You can probably drink this. Make juice. Add it to watermelon juice. To something, but I didn't do it. And I got a bowl. I'm gonna take garlic. Little garlic grater. We're gonna grate just one clove. If you have a garlic crusher, you can obviously use that too. I don't, so using the grater, and that is gonna do lemon juice. Put the yogurt in there. Probably do about a cup. Added the Greek yogurt. Now the lemon juice. Lemon juice, garlic, and cucumber. It didn't ask for salt, but I did put a little bit of salt in it. I thought it needed it. And I got this from, so how I get, like when I want to know how to make something, because I don't use recipes or I don't follow recipes often, but I do use it to get an idea of how to make it. To know all the, so like I use it to look at the ingredient list, and then from the ingredient list, and like I'll see how much is needed of each, and then I'm not like memorizing it. I'm like, okay, so it's about this much and whatever, and then I'll play around with it, or I'll just get the ingredients and I'll add. So I do look for recipes when I want to know how to make something that is like a traditional dish. And then, there's always vegan recipes online. And some recipes like jollof rice, that is something I pretty much need to follow as far as ingredients and how much to get the flavor right. And then some of the stuff you just, you can gauge. So, tzaziki. Ooh, sauce is done. You see how simple that was? And use it as tzaziki, and it's Greek yogurt. So, well, it's vegan Greek yogurt, so there is protein in there. There's good stuff, probiotics. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and make the barbecue sauce for the mushrooms. Okay, so I have my ingredients to make my barbecue sauce, my Korean barbecue sauce. I'm gonna take gochujang. This is not the Trader Joe's one. This is the real Korean gochujang, so it's a little bit spicier. 2 soy sauce, maple syrup, and I also did do oyster sauce. It's a little bit because it is salty, and I'm almost out anyways. A little bit of oyster. Mix that around. It's pretty much, let's see, it's like a liquidier than barbecue sauce, but that's okay because when it cooks, it's gonna thicken up because the sugar from the maple syrup. Oh, spice. I would probably add more oyster sauce and some more maple syrup. Because the gochujang, the fermented miso, is pretty strong. So one more time. That's good. So oyster sauce, soy sauce, gochujang, maple syrup. Ooh. That spice hits you, but we have the tzaziki to cool you down. So what I'm gonna do is put some of the sauce onto these mushrooms here. I'm not gonna use all of it because I am gonna use it when I'm cooking from a pan, but I just want to get some in here. And once again, just not once again because you didn't see what I did before. Ideally, bigger clusters would be best because how I will cook this is I will put it on the pan and press it down so all the clusters get pressed. But sometimes, depending on where you get the mushrooms from, I had some good clusters in the packs that I bought for the meals on Friday. But I guess this is the smaller one. So getting it all in there. I don't know if any of you would know who Victoria Everest is. And by the time you guys watch this, this would be old news probably. But she's a influencer, vegan juice guru, she has retreats and whatever. Anyways, not important. She comes a beautiful woman. She shows her journey on her weight loss and how she got to weight loss and, with juicing. And she studied or does learn from Eris Latham on juicing and on eating raw and the benefits of foods and fruits and such. All great stuff, right? Because that's great. She's helping people get healthy, and I'm sure her program has helped people. But this woman has issues. She has issues. So the story was, and she got caught admitting this. She filed a false rape report, got the guy arrested, and this was someone she was dating. But I guess, I don't know, he did her wrong. He cheated on her or something, whatever. I don't know the full story of what happened, but she wasn't happy with him. Willingly slept with him, collected evidence to make sure that, she was like in the video, if you guys has seen it, has said, oh, he has my clothes and, blah, 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 blah. My point is, this woman is out here preaching like, and like, again, once again, beautiful woman, but the man rejected her or whatever. And she apparently has been doing this for like many years. Like, this is not the first time that she's done this, allegedly. So this, and she does it because, like in the video, the guy is saying, you've been hurting men for 5 years. I don't know what other way she's hurt them, but like, this is it, and you only do hurt to people on that level because you yourself have a lot of pain and carrying a lot of pain. And if you see her journey, she was a big girl. She probably has insecurity issues. She had bad skin. She has all these issues. Now her skin glows, beautiful body, and her face is beautiful, But it doesn't matter what she changed on the outside. It doesn't matter how she looked. She, yes, in the sense it mattered that, she probably got more attention, got more men or whatever. But how you feel on the inside, if you don't heal that, if you don't change that and heal that, it will always come back and haunt you. And the truth, like, people have got to realize that the truth will always, it will always come out. Like, no matter what it is, who you are, if you're not, if you're a facade, if you're not true to who you are, that will always show. It might take a while. You might deceive a lot of people and it might take some time before that shows, but who you are and whatever the truth is will always, always reveal itself. So it's like, why play games? Like, just do the work. Transformation has to be from within, because you can change your outside, but if you don't heal what is causing the pain inside, you you get this. You start doing bad things to other people, and you start being wicked at your heart. Like, the fact that she would claim rape, got the guy arrested, like, that is madness. And this is someone you had a relationship with. Madness. Anyways, so I went ahead and put some of the sauce on there to let it sit for a bit. I'm gonna let it just sit for 15 minutes or so, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I sear it, and I'll put the whole pita together and show you, and then I'm gonna eat. So once again, I'm having a microphone mishap. During the break, I took the microphone off and forgot to put it back on and started recording. And it didn't record anything because the plug for the microphone was still in the phone. So here we go. I'm heating up the pan. It has to be hot. Once it heats up nicely, I didn't put any oil on it. You just put the mushrooms on in a thin layer, well, in a layer. Do not crowd it. Do not put it, overlap it. So you just put it down. I wish you could hear the sizzle. Once you have the mushrooms down on the pan, you want to take another pan or something heavier but smaller than the pan that you're using, so that you can use it as a weight to press the mushrooms down. You do want to flatten it and have a sizzle so that it gets a nice char and sizzle all on the bottom of the mushrooms. So I use a pot. I believe they sell weights that you can use. I've seen people use it, but I just use a pot. Trying to make it heavier. Plastic obviously is not a good idea, overheats. So I have this jar with oil in there to hold it down while I do that. And I believe here I was talking about fasting. I was listening to my favorite podcast, the DOAC podcast, and he had a cardiologist on there by the name of Dr. Pradeep Jamnaran. Amazing podcast, but he was talking about how we are all insulin resistant based on how we eat, so that we should, he recommends, doing intermittent fasting for everyone, but also doing a 36-hour fast every month. And I just came off of one. I decided to do it at the beginning of every month. But let's go ahead and check on our mushrooms here. So I'm going to take the weight off, and obviously going to take the pot off and flip all the mushrooms to see how it's going. So I can get the other side, since this is just the first time. Press down the other side. So I'm going to flip all these mushrooms and sear them, put the pot back down and sear the other side. But yes, back to the fasting. 36-hour fast is not that bad. If you think about it, 36 hours, you're putting at least 12 to 16 of that for sleep. So then you're left with just under 20 hours, or around 20 hours that you would have to fast for, um, which again, it's just a full day. So I figured, because I have done 3-day water fast before, uh, it's a little bit simpler for me because obviously the 3 days was a lot harder. You get the bouts of hunger, but I also, during those 3-day fasts, I've figured out that by drinking hot water that I put with ginger and mint, um, really helps with the hunger. The warmth of it was soothing. So anytime that I felt hungry when I do a fast, I'll do slices of ginger with mint and hot water. There are many reasons and benefits, or there are many benefits to fasting. And one of them is to rid your body of visceral fat, which a lot of us have because we're always constantly eating. So our insulin is always spiked, doesn't have a chance to reset and come back down. And that's what fasting does. It helps with resetting your insulin, bringing it down instead of spiking it. Now, don't ask me to explain the details. I'm obviously not a doctor, but I do highly recommend that everyone go listen to that episode of the DOAC podcast with Dr. Pradeep Jamnaran. I think it's so important for us to arm ourselves with information that can help us live healthier, better lives, because our healthcare system sucks. And you know, food is medicine. There's so many things that we can do that can make our health so much better. So after flipping it a couple of times, this is how they look, and they're finally done. It does take a while. I just fast forwarded through a lot of that, but you want to flip it back and forth, get a nice char on it. And I added some more of the barbecue sauce as it was searing. And here I am now going to put the sandwich or the pita together. I chopped up some lettuce. The naan bread, fresh is definitely better. But like I said, I didn't have any left. So this is the one I have. I have the naan bread. And with the fresh ones, I made some garlic butter that I brushed on. This one is already a garlic naan. So I'm going to put the tzaziki in here. I'm gonna get them out because it's good for you. And we yogurt. And then we're just going to put our chopped lettuce over the tzaziki. And then let me show you how mushrooms looked. The light is really not doing it any justice, the way the light is reflecting, but it's dark out. So the light needs to be on. I tasted the sauce, and I think this is even better than the sauce that I did on Friday. The pickled onions. Got a little bit left. This is super simple to do. I make some at home. It's great on different things, on salads. It's a good add-on for crunch. And this, my friends, is my twisted pita with Korean barbecue oyster mushrooms, tzaziki homemade, lettuce, pickled onions, and garlic naan. So I am going to go have dinner, get out of this awful lighting, and thank you once again for joining me. I hope you try this. Let me know what you think, as usual. And feel free to leave any comments. Feel free to let me know if there's something else you want me to make. But I'm going to go eat. You guys have a great day. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. Till next time, stay curious.